Hello there everybody, how are you doing? Get my hair out of my face, and what are we talking about? Well, talking about the most common mistakes a lot of beginners make, and I'll be joined by my buddy Henning. I have no clue how to say your channel name, Henning. Make sure you go and subscribe to Henning's channel. He has amazing videos, and you might be seeing me over there in a month or so. I don't know. Actually, I do know. You will be seeing me. Go check it out. And his actual student, Kiana. So he's gonna give you some tips as well. I respect Henning's playing immensely. I think he knows far more than me about theory and stuff like that. So I really look forward to hearing what he has to say about it. Hashtag banana butt. Let's just dive into it. So the first thing is, I don't even need to show you guys anything, but I think a very common mistake is this right here, the guitar. So when you get your guitar, regardless of whatever it is, a lot of beginners tend to keep their guitars in cases, and I highly, highly recommend you not do that. Because what happens is you want your guitar to be out and visible as much as possible. So if you, I recommend putting in a very, like, the room you spend the most time in, have your guitar sitting there on a stand. I definitely recommend investing in a stand, and have it there so you can see it. Because it's hopefully going to, like, you're going to see it and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I should play my guitar. The more you can keep that guitar in your mind, the more you're going to want to play it, and the better it's going to help you practice. Because the beginning stages of guitar, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, it's kind of rough, you know? It's not the most fun period. You're not playing songs yet. And, you really need as much motivation as you can to keep going. Because once you get over that hill in the beginning, you'll be so motivated to play. Now the second one, could have probably went first, but whatever, is play the guitar you want to play. Now, that doesn't mean if you want to, for some reason, want to start with a, custom 24 PRS or something like, or a custom shop guitar, maybe don't start with that. If you can, go for it. But what I mean is the huge acoustic electric debate. Now, a lot of people try to convince people to start on acoustic because they're like, oh, it's going to build up your finger strength and stuff. I actually recommend you start on electric because it's going to be easier to play at first. And like I said, overcoming that initial hurdle of, the motivation to practice and kind of the pitfalls of playing and stuff like that, you really want to be able to play as easy as possible in the beginning. And for one, if you're a person who likes, Metallica, and someone tries to convince you to play acoustic, that's really not what you want. Or if you're a person who likes the Dave Matthews Band, and someone's like, oh, no, you need to play this BC Rich guitar, that's not what inspired you to play. So follow what inspired you to play and what guitar appeals most to you. Now the next one, some playing tips. Now, as a teacher for many years now, I see a lot of things that beginners seem to do. Now, one of the things is how you fret a note. And this is going to come into thumb placement here in a second in my second tip. Now, what we're going to be doing here is, a lot of times beginners tend to fret like this. So you can see my hand, and we're going to go. They push down on the string to fret it, and they also pull the string down. So I always tell people, treat it almost like you're pinching the strings. Not hard. You don't want to push too hard because that'll also push the note out of key, or out of pitch, I mean. But so you notice how when I play this note, so that's end pitch, but if I bend it, it bends it out of tune. So that, like I said, that's a very common mistake, and a lot of it's because of where our thumb placement is. In the very beginning stages, we tend to want to baseball grip this neck with our thumb over the neck, and you grab it and you squeeze and you pull that string down. You don't want to do that because, like I said, it's pulling it out of pitch. And what you want to do is just simply push in on the fingerboard, just like this, straight in. So you can see I have my thumb right back here in the middle of the neck, and I'm just applying enough pressure. I know this is all, like, it takes time to build up stuff like this. This is all very time-based things. But like I said, if you're really listening, you can hear the guitar bend out of pitch a little bit, So if you're playing riffs like I'm trying to think of a riff. Here, that's out of tune just a little bit. So you want to avoid that. So just make sure you're pushing in on the fret and not pulling down on the actual string. Okay, so next I do want to talk a little bit about thumb placement because this is going to help a lot. So you notice, like I said before, my thumb is in the middle of the neck. Now, I adjust my thumb. My thumb doesn't sit still. If you watch when I play, or it's like a scale. Notice how my thumb was actually moving a little bit. And it's, kind of like accommodating the situation that my hand's in. So if you're trying to reach these lower strings and you want a lot of, stretch on it to get to the notes clearly, I shoot for the middle of the fret when I'm fretting. You can kind of go middle or front. If you go back, it's kind of tough. You might hit a dead note, and then you know, you don't want to ever be on the fret. So basically, what I do is if I'm trying to reach these lower strings, my thumb is actually at the lowest point of the neck. When I'm on the higher strings, my thumb moves up. And the reason is because, watch, if my thumb's up here and I try to reach these, oh, look, I can't. You know, I have like a 4 fret reach from like 3 to 6. That's all I got with my thumb up top here. But if I drop my thumb, oh, shoot, now I can suddenly go from like 3 to 9 pretty easily, you know, without really doing anything. And I noticed the camera just got way darker because the sun just went down behind a cloud. But, and here it comes back. So that's just a few things to watch out. You know, really try to work on that thumb placement a lot. It'll help you a ton. All right, and I'll throw one more at you guys, and there's plenty of tips that you could follow, and like I said, Henning has some really good ones for you as well that I didn't mention, or if I did, he has a little bit of a different spin on it, and that is play with your guitar in tune. Tune it all the time. Every single time when in the beginning that you are playing guitar, tune your guitar. Every single time you practice, tune it, because what happens is if you end up playing your guitar out of tune all the time, there's a fly attacking me, you won't know when that guitar's out of tune because you're always hearing it out of tune. So pretty much when it's in tune finally, it's going to sound like it's out of tune. You're like, this isn't what it normally sounds like. So you really want to have your ear trained. You know, as soon as you start playing guitar, your ear training begins at that point. So play in tune as much as possible. I highly recommend it. So let's go ahead and hop over to see what Henning and Kiana have to say. What up?
Hey Rob, so you want to know what I think are good tips for beginners? Well, I've got 2. Well, other than the one that you already, of course, mentioned, which is playing with distortion. Kiana, why should one also practice with distortion? This is Kiana, by the way. She's one of my students.
Hi.
Why should one practice with distortion?
Because I guess you play differently when you play distorted and you play clean.
Yeah, but what happens when you play with distortion that you have to take care of that doesn't necessarily happen that much with clean sounds?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, what about muting? With distortion,
Right.
everything kind of gets blown up and gets
Right.
more compressed and louder.
When you play with distortion, you need to mute more because otherwise you'll just have a sludge sound.
Yeah, sludge sound. Okay, so what is the one thing, well, one of the 2 things I always yell at you for? Show the mistake you make.
Okay.
Wait. Now you're not making it. Have you actually learned something? Show the hand position, show the hand position that you do when you go higher.
Now I can't do it anymore. Sorry.
Right there, that's what you're doing.
This is what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing. Okay, good. So what Kiana does is she takes her hand, and when she comes up, she pulls it around, and she always has her fingers right close to the fretboard, okay? And keep the fingers open. You can't stretch here. I mean, this is just not a great position for your hand. So what I came up with was the banana butt theorem, which Kiana actually made a picture of and gave me for Christmas, which is hanging in my kitchen. #banana butt. So, do you want to say what banana butt is?
Oh no, I'll give you the honors. I don't like telling that story.
Okay, so when you show the position again. Okay, when you're doing this, I said, imagine there's a monkey running at you with a banana in his hand. It's a nice monkey, but he hates the banana. He wants to get rid of it. Now, if you have, show the position, this
Instead of
this, there's no place to put the banana. So if you have the hand open, okay, then right here, the monkey can put a banana right there. Banana's there, that's all fine. If you close it up, the only place the monkey can put the banana is while you can finish that story later. And you don't want that. So make sure there's always a place to put the banana. I've had actually students practicing at home with a banana, and I got calls from moms asking why do they have a banana in their hands while they're practicing guitar. But it works. Imagine a banana has to fit in there, and everything's good. Hashtag bananabot.
Yep.
Next thing is use your pinky. There are many, many guitar players that play with 3 fingers, that stretch. They play pentatonic scales with 3 fingers, Rob. But using your pinky, Nick Johnston, I mean, many people use their pinky when they absolutely have to. What is the benefit of actually practicing with your pinky all the time and training it from the very beginning?
Well, if you use your pinky right from the beginning, then you'll build strength in your pinky. And, well, you'll be more flexible playing. And, like, bending, you can do bends with your pinky if you practice and you don't have to use 3 fingers. So that makes it a whole lot easier.
Show a bend, or play that scale again that you played.
Okay.
Which is C major or A minor in this case. You could have stretched a bit more where you have to do that stretch. On the D string. On the D string.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Stretch! Come on! Come on, reach! Yes! Okay.
Okay.
If you were so kind to give me the guitar.
Yes.
So the way I show this is the following. Position playing is, if this is the 5th position, then these 2 are anchored. 5th position means my index finger is in position 5 or in fret 5, and that means these 2 stay there. I can overreach with my index or I can overreach with my pinky, which means I have the possibility of going, but I'm not doing, because that would mean I have changed position to actually the 6th position. So which always means I'm not moving positions around, I'm staying here and I'm stretching either this one or this one. And that gives me a lot of reach. And that later allows me to instinctively know where I am and instinctively use the correct fingers instead of finding something that works for only right now. Okay? Oh, in this position right here, I'm stretching my index, pulling it in, now changing position. Okay? I know many people would not use their pinky for that. You can do that, but why not use it? I mean, what is the reason not to use your pinky? Bendings? Of course you don't bend with your pinky. But you're not just bending with your ring finger either. You're always using the other fingers underneath. So if you bend with your pinky, use the other fingers. Totally doable. Or totally, absolutely doable. So training your pinky from the very beginning will allow you to be much more flexible later. If you never use it from the beginning, you'll hit a wall of stuff that you won't be able to play. And training it later is going to be a pain in the banana butt.
Ouch.
Yep. Back to Rob.
Alrighty guys, that is it for us here today. Like I said before, make sure you go over to Henning's channel, hit subscribe. He posts seriously amazing content. And thank you again, Henning and Kiana, for being in this video. I really appreciate that. And we're gonna hop on out of here. I'm like starting over my words. There happens to be 2 more videos right here. There's a subscribe button. This fly is driving me crazy. High five. That's what I can say to that. High five.